Depart Arno Bay and head further south down the Eyre Peninsula to the metropolis that is Port Lincoln. Okay, well we're ready to head off from Arno Bay, and it's a beautiful day. Leaving this little luxury cabin, and it's a glorious day out today. A little bit windy coming from the west, but and it's cool, so it's going to be a bit of a cool ride. But look, it's a lovely morning here in Arno Bay. Seagulls are waiting for a bit of a feed there. All right, let's go. We're heading to Port Lincoln today, with a stop at Tumby Bay for breakfast. Hopefully there's a bakery there that makes nice pies. We'll see. Okay. Just going to stop to check the load is secured. All right. That's all good. That's all good. All right. I've just pulled over to the side of the road. There was a road train in front of me and going really slow, and I thought I'd take the opportunity at the top of the hill here to pause and just video the countryside. Well, here we are at Tumby Bay. Beautiful white sand beach. This is what Arno Bay Beach would look like without the seaweed. Beautiful blue water. If it was 41 degrees today, I'd be in there. Seabreeze Hotel, 1907. Well, I found it, the Tumby Bay Bakery. The days of old wheat is essential. Wheat and wool, by the looks of things. That wind is strong. Well, as we can see what Port Lincoln is important for. Wheat export. Look at that, huge infrastructure. And here's the bay, Port Lincoln. pause the video to read the interesting story and history of the Nabila. And here's the Nabila. Nabila is one of 12 heavily constructed wooden tugs built for the Navy in the late stages of World War II. An unknown number may also have been built for the Army, or were to be used for general harbour duties and towing supply barges in New Guinea and the Solomon Islands. That looks very, very tropical, that particular setting. Obviously during service, yep, 1945. This sculpture commemorates all who took part in this pioneering form of fishing for tuna and laid the foundation for today's success. I'm down a little cove, just a little bit out of the town of Port Lincoln. The actual harbour's around that point there, but that's the road that's going up into the Gulf, Spencer Gulf, up towards Whyalla and Port Augusta. Well, I've been in Port Lincoln one night. I left the Navigator Motel this morning. Fortunately, he made the error of not booking me in for 5 nights, as I'd asked. He'd only booked me in for 1 night, because I was sort of glad to be out of there. I immediately looked for another location here in Port Lincoln, and I found a place at Cobble and Stone, $600 for 5 nights, which I thought was pretty good. So I'm just waiting a little bit until around midday, just after midday, before I approach that place. There's a little bit of rain off to my left, just a smidgen. Hopefully it'll pass, and I'm starting to feel a couple of drops already. Well, I'm not too fussed about the rain. I just need to cover the bags on the bike, that's all. Well, this is the Port Lincoln grain terminal, and trucks are pulling up to offload their grain, and across the road is the Hotel Boston. Geez, that's an old pub. Must be grain day. A view of Main Street here along the beach of Port Lincoln. It's threatening to rain today, but hopefully in the next hour or so I'll be able to get into my new hotel. New cabin number 3 in fact. I'm at a location called Cobble and Stone, located at a place called Boston House. Now that's Boston House over there. Very old. It looks as though it was built probably in the 30s, and it's on a very large acreage here. This fine example of colonial Victorian architecture was built in 1885-86. Frederick and Amelia Sison commissioned the marine residence. Sison had recently retired from a partnership in Adelaide Brewery and was looking forward to enjoying the life of a country gentleman. His interests included yachting and winemaking. The land was previously owned by Reverend Octavius Hammond, who lived in Boston Cottage at the same site. He was the minister of St. Thomas Anglican Church in Port Lincoln. The villa house has 17 rooms with a large cellar below. In the entrance hall is a fine cedar staircase. Stone outbuildings consist of buttery, smokehouse, and the large stables, including a coach room and stable-board quarters. The house has been used as a hospital, boarding house, and now as a private residence with guests accommodating.